Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. We're excited to have one of our very own employees, Traci Bregitzer from Innovia Consulting. She's going to be presenting to us on Dynamics Business Central sending documents electronically, how you can set that up for customers and vendors and send those documents electronically. And as a reminder, we are recording this webinar and it will be posted to our on-demand webinar library for you to review again or share with anyone. And if you do have any questions along the way, please feel free to type them into the questions box and we will get them answered during our Q&A time at the end of our session. So now I'm going to pass it on over to Traci to kick off our presentation.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're all having a good day. As Angie had stated, my name is Traci Bregitzer, and I'm an application consultant on the Innovia support team. And I believe I've worked with quite a bit of you in the past, in the present, and probably in the future. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to start learning about how to send documents electronically today. There are a couple setups that you want to look at your customer card and or vendor card. These are all the same fields on both customer and vendor. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open up our customer card. There's a field called document sending profile, and this states how you want to send your document. You have a direct file or you have email. And let me show you that setup. We'll go to manage and we'll go to edit. And this is just stating that you want to send the documents, email, description, email reports. You want to use email, and that's your yes, and your email attachment will be a PDF. You can also use electronic document or PDF and electronic document. Choosing it as a PDF will attach it to your email for you. Electronic document you're going to use through your document exchange services, which is usually your Outlook. If you click on no, then if you're not using Outlook, you hit no, then it's going to ask you to set up your electronic document, how you want to send it. Okay. And from there, we're going to hit OK. We're going to place that on our customer card. From there, we go to related, and you go down to your customer, and you're going to see document layouts. Now, if you're an older version of Nav, it's just a different visual. If you go up to your ribbon, and I believe it's under navigate, you'll see document layouts there. So we'll go down to our document layouts. Make this a little bigger for us. So here you have your usage, and that is a report that you're going to be sending electronically. So all you need to do is you just use your pull down, choose which document you want to send. These are all the documents that you can send electronically. We're going to choose invoice. Here's your report ID that your posted sales invoice is going to be running from. And then this automatically populates. And here's where you put your email address of your customer who you want to have the email sent to. As you see, I also have my statement set up to send those. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll close this out. Another setting that can be quite can be difficult if you might need to recruit your IT department is your SMTP mail setup. This is where you are going to set up your user ID and who can send the emails. A lot of customers, they use accounts payable at their company.com or AP at company.com. That password needs to match that email address. You're going to use a secure connection. And there might be some setups at that email address to send on behalf of the user ID. So if you personally are sending it out of your NAV database, but it's coming out of the AP email, you might have to do some setups to those email addresses. And if your IT department requires assistance, we can always jump in and help on that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you the vendor card. I'll go to vendors. We'll go ahead and open up this vendor. And it's the same setups as at your customers. So you have your document sending profile. It takes you to the same link. We're going to do email. And we're going to hit yes. And from there, we're going to go related. We'll go to vendor. We go document layouts. So here are your options for the vendor. You have purchase order, your vendor remittance, posted entries, and your posted return shipment. These are the only options at your vendor level. Your vendor remittance, of course, is your ACH if you're sending ACHs. And when you drill down on your report ID, it gives you the list of all your reports. You can select from a full list. And we'll go ahead and we'll do a search for purchase order. So here are your different various reports that you're going to be sending. I'm going to go ahead and choose 10122. I'm going to tab over and we're going to go ahead and send it to myself. Use body for email. If you check this, you can go ahead and choose a report, and it's a custom report layout. If there is one that exists for this report number, it'll show up and you go ahead and choose that. For this case, we don't have one for our purchase order. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll hit close. Now to find out your report number, you want to go ahead and you find your posted documents. I'm going to go ahead and go here to my home page. I'm going to go ahead and search for my posted sales invoices. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to print this. I'm going to print. So our print window criteria populates. And the way to find your report number, you want to click on your question mark. And if you're in a later version of nav, you'll go to the top blue box with the white arrow. And you click on that and you do help about this page, and it'll give you the report number there. In Business Central, it is a little different. So we're going to go help and support. We're going to inspect pages and data. And in this case, this is the report number that is printing my posted sales invoices. So that's how you get your report number to set up at your customer level or vendor number. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go actions, and we're going to send by email. So it gives me the option of my email address, and here it states the sales invoice number. This is what is attached. So if we go ahead and click on it, it'll open it up in PDF for you. And it will be, your invoice will be there for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So here is my email that I received, and it came from my Rescue Squad email because that's where I'm logged in for my database. It came to my Traci at Innovia, and this is what they will get. And this is marked as an attachment because we did have that email attachment set up as that. So we go back to the customers. We'll open them up. And we'll go related. We'll go, whoops, related. Customer document layouts. And I'm going to take this use for email body off, and we'll go ahead and do an example. Let me go ahead and bring up a posted sales invoice. And we'll click on print, and we're going to send by email. So as you see, the body is a little different. Now it's not showing the invoice, it's just showing what the invoice number is and the $50, since we did uncheck the email body. So message content, you can do from email body, you can do a custom message. You can say, thank you for your order. Have a great day. We're just gonna hit OK, and that's gonna send off the email again for us. Now you can send in batches. So I just want to make sure some of these customers have the document layout. So we're going to go documents, customer. Let's go into the customer. It doesn't seem to be on our listing. So I'm going to go ahead, have their email set there. We're going to check their document layouts. So they have their invoice, that's good. And from here, you can click your next arrow key over, that'll take you to the next customer. That way you're not going in and out if you don't need to. Let's go ahead and we'll check this one. Okay, so this one does not have anything set up. So we're gonna go ahead and set up their invoice with their email. Okay, we'll hit close. Let's have a couple more I want to look at. Okay, we're just gonna throw this in here too. Okay, so we'll close this out. Make sure their document sending profile is set to email. Looks like I'm having some technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go back to my main screen. And we're gonna do batch invoices now. So I'll go posted sales invoices here. So as you can see, we have some on 9/4. We're gonna go on here. I'm gonna go on to sort by my due date for a second here. See what kind of options we have. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say print. And we're gonna send by email. See, so you see it only came up on the invoice that I was on my highlighted line. So we go actions. We're gonna print. And I believe there should be an output here. So if we take out our invoice number, and we're going to go ahead and say our filtering to be a bill to number would be ... You can choose different bill tos. Oh. Okay, and then you say send to. And this lets you send a PDF or Word. It's not going to let us send by email at this option. But you can use job queues to send your emails. So I'm going to go ahead and go into our job queue entries. Now, as you see, we have quite a bit set up here. As you see, I have one for report for my sales invoice. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to edit this job queue. So you go ahead and you're going to set up your job queue. We're going to set this on hold so I can edit it. And what you want to do, your object type to run will be your report. And it's a report or code unit. You fill in your object ID of the report, 1306. Your descriptions will populate. It'll tie you to your user ID. It tells you your last ready state, the early start date and time. So this currently is set for 4/13. I'm going to go ahead and change that to 4/8. So automatically it'll start at 12 a.m. You can go ahead and have this reoccurring every day. So if I say I want this to run every day throughout the day, and your earliest start time, you want to make sure that matches the date time. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll say 12 a.m. We're not gonna use an ending time because this will send out invoices all day long for you as you're posting and printing. Number of minutes between runs, this is just a default that populates. Any timeout period, that's 5 minutes if there's a timeout period. So right now this is on hold, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go actions, job queue, and we're gonna set our status to ready. So now this job queue is ready and it's gonna start sending out invoices for you. It's that simple. So all day long, you'll have invoices going ahead and sending to your customers for the job queue as this is running. Also, if we go into our job queue, and we're gonna set this back on hold, you can see a report requested page option is enabled. Report output type is Word. We're gonna go ahead and change that to PDF. I prefer PDF, but if you come up to actions or reports, I'm sorry, and you request your report page, right now this is set to anything on the posting date between 9/1 and 9/8. You can go ahead and just leave that blank, and once it sends an invoice, it will go ahead and just send invoices. It won't resend any invoices that are already sent. But if you just want to do it monthly, you can do 0301 to 0331, and it'll send that out on a monthly basis for those posted invoices. Okay, so we're going to set this back to on hold. To ready, I'm sorry. And now this is ready to send out invoices. Is there any questions?
None have come through yet, Traci.
Perfect. Okay, so here was our second email that we did get. And as you see, this was the one where I customized it. And we're just going to go ahead and open our attachment. As soon as it decides to open. Okay, there we go. And there's our invoice. And that is really sending documents in a nutshell. I'm more than happy to do more examples, or if anybody has any questions or want to see something else while we have a few minutes, please feel free to let us know. You can raise your hand. It looks like Megan might have a question.
Yeah, is there a way where my company has an accounts receivable email address for customer invoices that go out, and then we have an accounts payable address for vendors to send bills. And I was wondering if we could send the remittance payments out so that it went out through the accounts payable email. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? What you're
Yeah,
saying?
you
Okay.
just go into your vendor card. And we're going to go to Action or Related. We'll go to Vendor, and you go to your document layouts. So here we're going to go ahead and make a new line. I'm going to say Vendor Remittance. And we'll say this to report 10083. I just happen to know that by heart. And put their email in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're doing your ACH process and you're clicking on your export, there's an output method there on that window, and you have PDF preview or email. If you choose email, then it will go ahead and send all the vendor remittances out via email.
But currently, BC is like, I think it's set up. Can it send out from multiple email addresses?
Yes, yes.
Like,
So you just want to put a semicolon after the first one,
no,
and
not
then you.
not to multiple. I want because like right now, if I send something out, no matter what document we send out where, it always says it comes from my accounts receivable account, and I don't want it to do that.
Oh, so that might be a setting at your SMTP. Maybe you can verify what email address is sitting here.
Okay.
If it's your AR, that's why that's happening.
So you can't only do the one then.
Correct. There might be a setting. Let's see. Let's look at our purchase setup for a second here. Yeah, there's nowhere we could set that there. That might be a modification that we might have to do to your database, so it will pull from the AP email and not the AR email. But I'm pretty sure your SMTP setup is probably reading AR.
It is, yeah. I just
Yeah,
looked.
that's why that's happening. So you might want to create a generic email address.
Yeah,
Just
like notes.
accounting at,
Yeah.
and then your AP email and your AR email will have access to that accounting or your users, and they can refer to that email there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Megan. Any other questions or anything else anybody would like to see? Does anybody want any more examples? Anything else I can do? We have a few more minutes before our time is up on our webinar. Okay, Angie, are you still with us?
I am. All right, well, if nobody has any further questions, we'll go ahead and start to wrap up. If you come across anything later, please feel free to reach out to Traci. Actually, Traci, do you want to go back one slide? There you
Oh,
go.
one slide. Oh, okay.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You can contact Traci, or you can contact your account manager here at Innovia, and we can go more in depth to discuss your questions. But I just want to thank everyone for attending. And like I said earlier, we will have this up on our website on our on demand. So you can review it later again if you'd like to, or share it with anyone. And we do have more webinars coming up. We have one next Tuesday with ADP, and they're going to be presenting on leverage data analytics from ADP to make informed business decisions. And then next Thursday morning, we have Easy Stock presenting on leveraging inventory optimization for e-commerce success. So check out our website for more of our upcoming events, and that's innovia.com/events. And we do have a podcast going on. If you have not heard of it already, it's called the Innovia Conversation. And we just want to encourage you to listen to the selection that our hosts, Steve Waltz and Jeff Pergolski, have provided to us. And you can find out about all the different podcast platforms to listen to on our podcast page, and that's innovia.com/podcast. So check out the selection and subscribe so you'll get notified when those new episodes air. And we do have a new round of training workshops available for you and your team members to attend. Visit our training workshop page at innovia.com/workshops for more information and to register for the training workshop that fits your role. All right, everyone, I believe that's all that we have for you for today. Traci, thank you again for presenting, and thank you for everyone who is on today, or if you're watching on demand, thank you for taking the time out to join us. And we look forward to seeing you soon on another Innovia webinar.